Hey guys, this is Jacques from MakuluLinux and welcome to another video. It's been a couple of days since I've last updated everybody, and as you know, my focus has been heavily on Shift. Windows is out, Core is just about done. I'll start making videos and stuff on that soon, but my focus is on Shift now, and so most of these videos, occasionally these regular videos, will probably be on Shift. Um, so the first thing I want to point out since the last video is that, Shift was using somewhere between 1.2 and 1.5 gigabytes of RAM at boot up. And I know a lot of guys pointed out to, the fact that it's quite resource hungry. And I mean, it is a GNOME-based system. But as you can see here in this latest build, because I've been doing a lot of optimizations, it's using less than 800 megabytes. It's actually on 770 odd. I brought it down a whopping, what's that, 500 megabytes of RAM less consumed on boot up. Okay, so it's now virtually touching about the same spot where XFCE would be, because XFCE would be between about 600 and 800, usually like 680, 720, 750 kind of thing. That would be XFCE at boot up. This is a GNOME based system, this Shift. You know how hungry GNOME is. And I've got it running at 772 megabytes at idle boot up. Wow! That in itself is a massive achievement. Now obviously once you start opening up apps and things get loaded into memory and cached and so forth, this is going to go up drastically, obviously, like any Linux distro would. But at idle, look at that. Wow. Anyway, so I just thought I'd point that out. That's a big point of something I just wanted to point out with the distro, is that I am optimizing it, and so I am making this new build that's going to go out is going to be way faster than the previous one we released more than a year ago. Okay, so with that out of the way, I want to start focusing on some of these layouts and come back to that, because there's quite a lot of updates here. Now, as you know, right? As you know, that by default we've got this Unity look, right? So you've got the top panel and the side dock over here, with the favorite icons on the top left, and then you've got the start menu button on the bottom left. So now, if you open up something, the side panel obviously disappears, the top panel stays, much like Unity was, so we call it the Unity dock because it does look very much like Unity. It's not exact, but it's close enough. The start menu is at the bottom, not the top. Unity had the start menu at the bottom. That's the start button, the application launcher at the bottom. At the top, we have it at the bottom. You'll also notice that when I launch applications, it's much, much faster. I don't know if you saw the previous videos, probably because I'm in a virtual machine. It was a little jittery. I'm still in the virtual machine, the same virtual machine, but you see how speedy and nippy this is. And I think that might be because I've reduced that RAM consumption such a lot. Anyway, so there is a visible increase in speed here and almost instantness to things. You'll notice that. Look at that, just opening up something. And remember, I'm in a VirtualBox, right? So you can expect a little bit of a delay, which is pretty normal, but this is nippy. It almost feels like I'm running XFCE here. Okay, but I'm not. Okay, this is Shift, which is based on GNOME. So I just want to point that out. Anyway, coming back to these layouts, to the layout manager, because this is where a lot of changes have occurred. So I want to just speak about this for a second. So by default, we're in this Unity look. If you look here in this bottom right little picture here, you'll see there that dark. Yes, this is the one that we're in Unity, right? But we've got others as well. I showed them off in the last build, but I'll run through them quickly again for the guys that didn't really see the last video. So we've got these 6 layouts. And when you start up the OS the first time, this little box will automatically pop up and you can choose a layout. Now, by default, it will have the Unity one, but really the default one doesn't matter because you're going to choose one, right? So let's say you go the opposite direction. You go away from Unity, you want a bottom panel and you want a standard start menu. If you click the Windows block, you'll see it will change. There we go. So I click Windows. Now I've got the standard bottom panel and I've got the sort of Cinnamon slash Windows menu, which is a very sort of almost like a Windows-like menu. Cinnamon slash Windows kind of like menu, right? Very simple, very nice. It works. And of course, where Unity didn't have desktop icons, like if I click back to Unity now, you'll see there's no desktop icons here. The actual Windows environment did have icons. It does have icons, so it's got icons on the desktop, right? Going over to Flash, which is another panel-based layout. So click on Flash. Now we've got this almost whisker type menu, and it's called Flash because this is the similar type menu that we have in our Flash, MakuluLinux Flash, as this is a similar type menu we have in MakuluLinux Windows. So we're kind of recreating our own distros here, at least the layouts of them. So if you click this menu, it's a similar menu that we have in MakuluLinux Flash Edition, right? Also search bar, side panel, and then of course applications. I mean the category panel and then applications on the right. So very easy again. Once again, there's the icons on the desktop, right? Going down to KDE Plasma, if you click on KDE Plasma, again, it's the bottom panel, the same as all four of these have the same bottom panel. But now you've got this very standard kind of KDE menu. So if you like KDE menu, you'll love this. I mean, this is just like KDE. Okay, so it's got a very KDE feel to it. So if you're a KDE guy, you'll enjoy this menu. Going over to simple menu, change to simple menu. Yeah, this is a very kind of GNOME 2 style menu. It's actually very fast. You can see that. It just pops out. Anything pops out to the side. So yeah, very simple, straightforward, easy. So the common theme between all four of these layouts here on the left is that Flash, Windows, Plasma, and Simple, they all share the same panel at the bottom. It's mostly just the menu styles that change, okay? Which is different to the Core and the Unity, because if you look at Unity, you've got the side dock as well as the top panel, right? So you've got this. And I know kind of it looked like it just blurred there for a second, but you'll see it almost looks like one panel because they the same shade. Okay, so that's Unity. But if you click on Core just above that, again, now you've got a bottom. Now you've got a bottom dock. You've got a top panel, bottom dock, and of course, as I showed in the last video, the difference is where with the Unity, the side dock disappears when you move the window over. Here, the top panel disappears, not the bottom dock. So the top panel disappears when you need that space, okay? But if you go full screen, both disappear. And you can always bring the dock back up, okay? So that's nice. I also showed in the last video that we've made really nice little animations for the buttons. So the theming's pretty cool. If you actually click on themes, you can change colors here. As you can see there, look there, the red icons. In fact, I can probably do this. And you can see the actual themes change. So there's a like a purple theme, there's a violet theme, there's a green theme, a blue, so everything changes blue. Highlights change blue, icons change blue. Pretty much everything changes blue, right? And the button animations will also be blue. So there's a nice sort of a variety of themes available as well, so I just want to point that out. But the biggest change of all, and this is where I want to come now, is this layout manager. One of the guys on our testing team was saying, well, you know, it's nice that I have these layouts, but whenever he changes the layouts, everything goes back to the default. And, you know, he changes his wallpaper and then it will reset his wallpaper. And so I thought about this and I thought, well, I can do something about that. And so I did. If you click on settings, you get this warning, you click on continue and you get this whole new settings screen. Wow! So what is this and what does it do? There it says layout backup / restore editor. So I'm going to explain this now. I want to explain what this does because this is awesome. This is some of my best work. This is awesome. So let's go back to the layout for you to understand that. I have to just quickly show you. This is the layout. If I change to core, it will change to what that picture looks like, right? Of course, I've got to update these pictures because I've updated the launcher icons and so forth. But basically, that's what you're going to get, right? You change to Unity, you're going to get that side panel, top panel. But everything stays the same. Let's say I change the desktop background. Select wallpaper. Let's go choose another one. There we go. Black wallpaper. So I've got a black wallpaper now. And let's say I want to add some more icons to favorites. I add in bleach bit and I add in constructor. Okay, so there we have bleach bit and constructor. Let's say I want bleach bit right on top. So there we go. Moved it around. So now I've got more stuff in my side panel, right? So there we go. And we got the different wallpaper. However, if I go and I change it to, let's say, Lindows, I want to try Lindows for today. I feel like using Lindows, right? So changes there. And after Lindows, now I kind of miss my Unity look. I want to go back to that. You go back to Unity and look, everything's gone. Your customizations in the panel's gone, the background's gone. If you had changed the theme, icon color, that would be gone too. It resets everything to default. And one of the guys on the team was complaining about that. Maybe he likes to change between them. I don't know. But he kept asking, it sets everything to default. And I thought, well, maybe I should do something about that. And that's what this editor is about, right? So here, each layout has a backup and restore option. So I want to just quickly explain what these do. We are now in the Unity, right? If I make changes to my, let's say I use this desktop, right, Unity, but I'm one of those guys, I like to jump, like I go through mood swings. Sometimes I want the Unity layout, sometimes I want to use the core layout, sometimes I want to use the Plasma KDE layout. You jump between them because why not? It is available, and that's what Shift is all about. It's about moving through different layouts quite easily, right? So, but I would want to customize my desktop the way I like it to. Let's say I have a favorite wallpaper. Let's say that's my favorite wallpaper. Or let's go choose another one, something a little lighter. Okay, let's say this is my favorite wallpaper, just hypothetically. So this is my favorite wallpaper. I like this wallpaper. And, I've installed some custom apps, and so I want them in the side panel. I want a boot repair, and I want a system monitor in there. And let's see what else. Let's say I want a calendar in there. I use calendar often. So I load a couple of apps over there. I put calendar right on top, and I put this system monitor there just below the browser. Okay, there we go. So I make some customizations over there, make some changes. And I don't like this theme. Let's say I prefer like a green maybe. Yeah, let's make it green. No, let's make it red. Okay, so there we go. Now I've got a red theme, as you can see there. Open up this red theme, and so this is how I like my desktop, right? When I use Unity, this is I want my. So basically, what this does is it lets you update the profile. So because I'm in Unity now, I can just choose backup. If I choose backup, it updates it. In fact, maybe I should rename these backup to update. Either way, it doesn't matter. The function is there. If I click backup now, it will literally back up this current look to Unity. So now, if I go and I change my layout, let's say to core or Windows, whatever, it will now change to the default core, the last one that was backed up. But if I then 2 days later decide I want to go back to Unity, I click on Unity, and what do you know? Now I have all my customizations, colored themes, everything. If I had changed my mouse pointer, that would have been backed up too. My favorite wallpapers loaded. And so this settings panel over here lets you actually update the default 6 layouts to your custom preferences. However changes you make to your desktop, if you want to make them, you can then back up. You can back up that profile, because this is what these layout managers are. They are saved profiles, pre-programmed profiles. That's why it loads the picture exactly as it is. But this little utility that I made lets you basically update that profile to your own liking, to whatever you want. Okay. So, however, there's a restore option. The restore will restore it back to standard. There's a reason I added the restore. Firstly, people might want to go back. Secondly, it actually warns you here. Please be careful before making changes. And the reason for that is, if you're in Unity, okay, and you go back up on core, you have a problem because you've now overwritten the core layout with a Unity backup, that you've customized. So if I open up Layout Manager now and I click on core, it's going to load core. It's going to say it's loaded core, but it's actually just loaded Unity. You've now overwritten the core layout with your Unity, maybe by accident, who knows? Or maybe you thought it would be funny. But the restore option will restore the core profile back to default. And let's do the same with Unity. So there we go. Both have been restored. If you open up the Layout Manager now and you click on core, it will now load the default core. And if you click on Unity, it will load back to the default Unity. Okay. So basically, I've created a little editor here that lets you back up your current profile. So you can have like 6 different wallpapers on each different layout. You can have different colored themes, different icon sets. You can customize the panels. You can do whatever you want and then back up each one of those layouts the way you like it. So that when you use the Layout Manager and you switch between these layouts, it will then load your personal preferences. That is awesome. That is awesome. So not only have I created layouts for Shift, but I actually give the power to the user to actually make his own layout and save it. How awesome is that? I think that's awesome. And then on top of that, in case he ever wants to go back to the default one, he can just, there's the restore option for all 6 of them. Or if he messes something up, he can just simply restore and go back to the default. This is gold. How awesome is this? I think this is just amazingly great. And remember, I did this in a week. Okay, so I've been very busy. Anyway, so that's pretty much the update right now. Shift is looking awesome. I mean, I've been clicking around, opening up a ton of stuff. I'm still under a gig of RAM here. And this thing was idling at 1.2 to 1.5, even before I would open up things. So there's definitely a massive increase in speed. I can see it. I'm inside a VirtualBox, so I can see the speed increase. There's a massive decrease in RAM resource consumption. And then you've got these amazing updates with the new Layout Manager, which is pretty awesome. And there's something else that I also want to kind of talk about, but I think I touched on this on the last video. All the layouts now come. I know maybe I didn't. All the layouts now come with the accessibility options enabled, which means that you can click the screen keyboard. You can enable it if you're on a touch screen or something, and every time you open up something that requires input, the keyboard automatically pops up. So Shift is fully compatible with touch devices. If you're on a tablet and you're opening up something that requires you to put in an input, the keyboard automatically pops up. You don't have to still click on a keyboard to open up a keyboard. No, it's automatically. So I thought that was nice. That was a nice touch for touch. It's fully compatible with touch devices. So that's nice too. You can load this on your desktop, your laptop, your tablet. Doesn't matter. If it can load Linux, it will work. Another thing I also want to point out is now we have 2 options here for rotating. Again, this is for touch devices. If you don't use touch devices, then you probably will never worry about this. But if I click rotate normal, that's the one that's on now. If I rotate right, the screen simply rotates right, okay? And then I can just, where am I now? Yeah, and rotate normal. There we go. Switch it back to normal. Again, this is for touch devices. I have a tablet, and I've used Shift on a tablet quite often. Some tablets auto rotate. They got good drivers that auto rotate. Some of them, the auto rotate function doesn't work so well. Driver support is not the greatest with Linux, and so you'll get some of the guys that auto rotate does not work. They've got to manually rotate. They've got to type in commands and create buttons and things just to rotate the screen. And this is where this rotate normal, rotate right comes from, because you can go landscape and portrait. Just simply click here with your finger, click there or there, and rotate the screen. That's it. Now you're in landscape, now you're in portrait, now you're in landscape, now you're in portrait. So easy, just click. So this is also gold for guys that use touch screens, especially like tablets and so forth. I thought this was a nice little touch as well. So basically, I'm making Shift fully compatible with touch devices. I'm giving people the ability to completely change their layout. I mean, you go from a Unity look to a Core look with a click of a button. Now I'm now I've got a bottom dock. Jeez, oh my God. I mean, not only is it a bottom dock, but it's fully functional. It has options. I can go show details and open it up in the software center. And, I mean, wow. So, yeah, and then I can change the layout again and go from like a core look to a Windows look. And suddenly I'm like, wow, now I'm in a completely different OS. It feels like I'm in a completely different OS. No, I've just shifted to a different layout. So, really, really awesome stuff happening with Shift. This thing is going to be gold when it comes out. And there's a long time still that I've got still to work on it, because we're going to be releasing Core soon, and then after Core, oh, shucks, did I click that? Sorry, my internet is very pathetic here, especially this time of the night, so things like software centers tend to be slow. So, we've got Core coming out, and then after Core, it's either going to be Flash or Shift. I'm not sure which one, but wow, man, wow, the stuff that we are doing, wow. Anyway, that's my update for tonight. I have a very busy weekend, so I probably won't be making any videos until next week sometime. I probably won't even be working on Core until about Sunday or Monday. But I tell you that I'm quite happy with the progress this week. And that's my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And remember to support the project. We've released Lindos, and I don't even think we made $200 in donations. Like almost nothing. I know it's a pandemic and I know people are poor, but geez, man, we spend a whole year making stuff and then nothing comes in, and we got to keep the project going. So again, there's a couple of guys that donate on Patreon, and they keep the project alive. Without them, the project would probably be dead. So thank you to those guys. You guys really help. Um, and to anybody else that wants to donate to the project, you're welcome to. Easy PayPal or become a Patreon. Um, there are links. I'll put some links at the bottom. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, and leave some feedback. I mean, if there's something you want to say about what you saw in the video, the layouts, the ability to change the layouts, or the touch features that I'm putting in, if there's any input you have, feel free to comment below. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.